Much love, everybody. We'll keep back here with another little market update, decode. Um, we just entered this Sagittarius sign on the 22nd, and you can see this logo here is an X pointing up, the Archer sign. And right here on the 22nd in the market, we dumped into it with the new moon right the day after, new moon also on the 23rd. So we dumped into this Sagittarius and new moon, kind of bullish energy with the arrow pointing up and the new moon bringing bullish energy. Bitcoin had a nice little bear trap here, made a lower low, trapped people into thinking we're going to the next leg down. And then, of course, we reversed out of it with the bullish energy and Sagittarius. Just wanted to share Sagittarius is the Archer sign, and you can see this 53 here, 53 the 16th prime number, and of course Bitcoin trading at 16K area. We dumped a little bit below it, but 16K is the area we're holding right now. And then you can also see Archer equals 18. And this relief pump that we had went up to like 18K basically. These little wicks down here of this bottom 18K, all kind of around this 18K area. So could we potentially see Bitcoin go up to 18K here in this Sagittarius sign? Who knows? We'll see. Right now we're super bearish. If I zoom out here, just to kind of recap what's going on, you can see this trend line that I kind of drew. We're just riding that. Got rejected a couple times here, below all the moving averages, just looking very bearish for Bitcoin. Like I pointed out before, we've never been below these green moving averages, 200s on the weekly chart here before ever. And even the yellow 8 moving average is crossed below all of this. So like this is the most bearish we've ever seen Bitcoin, basically. Everything sloping down, and yeah, we're even stuck under this 8 on right now on the weekly. Although RSI is forming a little bullish divergence, you can see that the lower, or the RSI is getting higher while the price is getting lower. So that's a little bit bullish, but yeah, so that's Bitcoin right now. We also have a couple interesting days coming up I wanted to kind of share. So today's the 25th. Tomorrow is 11/26. 26th prime is 101. Just to show you 101, 26 prime number. And that is tomorrow's date, 11/26, 26, 11 prime number. And it is also the 330th day of the year, and the 35 there, like I showed. Archer equals 53, 35, and the 333, or 330. And then a few days later, on the 28th, we have 33 days left in the year, and then the 29th, we have 333 day of the year, which is interesting because when you type in Bitcoin, you get 333, and this 23, like on the 333 day, there's 32 days left. 333, 23, you see that Bitcoin? So that's something to kind of pay attention to here. Could be a big volatile day for Bitcoin. And this 26 has like the double 11 kind of numerology to it too. So just something I kind of saw and wanted to point out there. But kind of going back to the charts here, everything obviously bearish. If we kind of go into the daily here, zoom in a little bit, you can see this 55 moving average crossing down here, kind of going to start getting lower below all these wicks here, which won't be good. But like I said, 18K, we could maybe pump into this, closer to this, and get rejected like we were getting rejected before. Around this 18K area, I would say, for that Archer sync there with Sagittarius. And then also we have a full moon coming up on the 7th and 8th of December, which will probably be bearish and might lead us to our next leg down, which if I switch over to this chart, you can see I have this kind of zone drawn out here that I was talking about before, this area here where we could backtest around 12K or so. That's kind of like with the bullish or bearish full moon energy coming, maybe go down to this 14K, this top here as like a lower target as well. Probably first 14 is end equals 14, and you can see Bitcoin here 23 as well, end equals 23.14. So maybe this dump ends on the 14K there for Bitcoin. Just kind of some things I'm pointing out. You can see this liquidity candle here on the weekly chart as well. Would be a nice fill of that, which is good. I haven't seen that for 108, 109 weeks. Remember what I said about the 18 as well with the Archer. So, and maybe instead of 18K, we kind of hit down to here in Sagittarius. But so yeah, Bitcoin's looking pretty freaking bearish, of course. I have this other trend line. You can see a few good touch points, and now we're kind of riding it down here. So maybe we kind of keep rolling down this, or just kind of, we'll see what happens when we go below it. But still expecting a lower low for Bitcoin here, another one like leg down. If you take a look at the DXY quickly, kind of see what's going on here. You can see on the daily chart, we're using this as support, the 200s here. Let's check out the weekly shows. Weekly chart, you can see a couple of these touch points here, which are possible to get to, boom, at like 102, 103 here. And that's right in line with this 55 moving average on the weekly chart. When DXY is dumping, crypto is usually pumping. So we could see a little more bullish momentum for this new moon, maybe going into like that 333 day of the year, and then possibly some kind of reversal. But yeah, DXY, if we zoom out even more, you can see we just pumped up close to this golden pocket area, made a lower low here. So it does have room to come back down to even under $100 into this kind of cluster here, and then back test, and then maybe pop up again and dump the whole markets. If we take a look at the S&P quickly, you can see on the monthly chart we had a nice bullish bounce here on the 55, which we've touched a couple times, like the COVID crash here. Boom, nice pump up here. We dumped onto it again for temporary support. Decent pump up, but you can see this channel we're in that I drew. And on the daily chart, we're hitting these 200 moving averages. This might be a little bit hard to see, but also have this 4100 area marked off because end equals 14. So I was kind of thinking maybe we pop up into here one more time before dumping again. But the S&P, like I showed, the weekly chart's looking good, or, well, no, it's not looking good because you can see this 55 moving average is sloping down, and we got rejected off of it once, and now it's right in line with this channel that we're in. So we can get rejected off of it again and then fall back down, either double bottom or kind of looking at this area right here that we could back test around 33.9 area. So there's still a lot of room to go down in the stock market. And next year is the 2023, which is the skull and bones year, 322 backwards. Skull and bones number is 322, and if you just think about the symbolism of skull and bones, like death, like the stock market, it obviously hit a high and it came back down, but this is like nothing really to what it could do. I think we still haven't seen the worst of what's to come for the stock market, and we could even like come back all the way down here. It's like if things get really bad, which like a whole year next year, stock market could bleed slow for a long time. So that's something to kind of be careful of. Any of these pumps like this new moon energy, normally time to sell. Who knows how long this is going to last, this pump or this bullish energy overall. But like I said, crypto could spike up here to 18K for Bitcoin pretty easily, like really quick, and then fall back down. Now if we take a look at Ethereum, can see we're in this range here where we had this W breakout, and on the top I have this trend line drawn for the support here, which we came back to off the breakout, and had this nice sideways trading range hold this, even with the scam wick down, and then pop back up. And then we got rejected off these moving averages, came all the way back down, and now we're stuck under this again. And also, yeah, so we're stuck with this fib here and this support here for ETH. So it's looking better than Bitcoin, obviously, because we have higher lows being made. But overall, Bitcoin or Ethereum still has a lot of room to go down, as you can see here. I'm gonna take away this fib, but ETH has this the pump in 2017. That's kind of the area we're holding right now, or that we came back to with these moving averages. But Bitcoin, you saw Bitcoin's weekly moving averages, the 8 simple is below these green lines. ETH is starting to do that. As you can see, the crosses are happening. The price still is still holding up there, but it looks like ETH is about to just fall off a cliff here, all the way down to like 400, 500 bucks. You can see these green liquidity candles on the weekly chart, like even these ones are like 600, 700 bucks or so. And I have this line drawn because we pumped up here, got rejected, then popped up again, bounced off this line for a bull trap, and then broke through it. And then even here, this was our last resistance area before the bull run started for ETH, like the proper bull run pump. But you can see this whole pump up here, there's just empty air basically. There's no trading here really, other than this little bull trap and this all-time high spike. So I'm kind of looking for ETH to fill out in between these yellow lines a little bit. Doesn't have to go all the way down here, but like it needs to fill this area a little bit, at least up to like the 600, 700 area. And if ETH falls down, let's say to like 600-700 bucks or whatever, that's like 40% drop on ETH, and that means altcoins are going to go 50-60%, especially if the stock market starts correcting more. Like everything's going to just roll over here and fall over pretty hard. So that's something to kind of take into consideration here. And if you look at ETH's drop last cycle, dropped 94%. And here we're only down 81, 94% drop. Just to kind of put it into perspective, is all the way down here like 300 bucks. However, Bitcoin over time doesn't drop as hard every cycle. So like here, if we this to the bottom was 86% drop. 2017 was about 83% drop, so it's getting lower. And then now, currently, we are only at 77%, which is an interesting number, obviously, because of the Shemitah and 7-year cycles, but 83% drop from here is down to this like 12K, 13K area, so that wouldn't be weird for Bitcoin at all to do that. And then if we look at ETH, its drop was, well, yeah, we saw that 94% drop or whatever. So like maybe it goes 90% or a little bit less, but like there's still a lot of room for ETH to go down properly, like 80%. It's nothing crazy, but like all the way down here to 90%, that would be like a fulfilled full clean drop. And if you look at this chart, like it just looks like this area needs to get back tested all the way down here, and then we can kind of trade and then start working our way up again. But these moving averages are long term, right? Like weekly charts, so everything's pretty long term. On the monthly chart, we're holding this 55 right now, but you can see how aggressive this yellow 8 SMA is pushing down on the price, and you can even see we pumped up into it and then got just pushed down right here. And once this crosses below this white, that's when we're going to see a lot of damage. And you can see these big, thick green candles here on the monthly chart. This is a big danger zone or empty area, like liquidity zones. People going long or buying here, like we need to fill this out basically to bring a little bit more balance in the chart. And of course, it'll still look bullish. Like these are the bottoms, and then we'll have higher lows on ETH even if we just come down all the way to 400, 500, and then we can just continue on to the next part of ETH cycle. But yeah, basically just kind of wanted to show that little recap. Solana still, you know, this death candle that we had on this week, which was interesting, 59% drop. Solana 59, yeah, so look at that, 59% drop in 1 week. 59 is the 17th prime. You can see Solana equals 17, and then it also equals 20. And if you reverse 17, you get 71, the 20th prime number. So that's something to take into consideration. Also, I mentioned the 26th tomorrow, the 11/11 kind of date. Solana equals 62. Could be something to pay attention to there for Sol. And then if we go on the daily chart, you can see this big aggressive drop we had. So like these candles, there's a lot of liquidity here that we can still scoop up like in the 20s. So like there could be some kind of aggressive pump up, but here you can see Sol's bottom was like right at $11 basically, like that. Sol equals 26 like I showed, or 62, sorry, and 26th prime is 101, and we pumped up from here. Nice 34% pump in a few days here off the Sagittarius new moon energy. Obviously Bitcoin only went up like 7%. Solana had a nice pump up because Solana's obviously dumped way harder than some of these other coins on this eclipse here, so it can recover way faster as well. But until like, there's still a lot of things that need to happen here for Sol, like $17, like I showed, Solana equals 17. Until we start closing above these candles and start trying to get into this zone, then we're going to be faced with another problem, which is this 55 moving average. And until we start closing above that and start reversing all this, like everything's just going to look really bad. As you can see, it's just, yeah, doesn't look good. And then I had this fib pulled from these lows here, this kind of sideways trading range. I did a bearish pull, so I pulled from right to left to the top, and you can see the golden ratio fib is at like $7.1 almost, which Solana equals 17. So I'm still waiting for this to kind of come down here, most likely under $10. I mean, when ETH dumps to 400, 500, Sol's easily going down here, and maybe even lower to all the way down here at like $4 or $5 to kind of retest this high. So yeah, just kind of be careful, you know, new moon now could be a little bit more pump coming with the Sagittarius sign with the arrow pointing up, but I would just be careful. Any pumps up here, if you're buying these bottoms, like it's time to, you know, de-risk and just be careful, because next full moon could get really, really interesting and really, really bloody. Yeah, other than that, I think that's it for now. So yeah, take care everybody, and much love.